distracted.
11, 11, 11. That was fun. All
Well,
right.
that wasn't intentional. I just got distracted. Say, here, look at this. And I went,
Well, I said, here's the outline. Can you read it? And he says, oh, yes, World War II. I said, no, Witchy Wednesdays at
well,
11,
you got
11.
WW2.
All right. Can you go over to the other page?
I can.
And
I
welcome
can.
people.
I can
Hopefully
welcome
we're really
people.
there.
We should be there. It looks like it.
Oh.
Oh, well, now we've got a nice picture of neither of us on our vertical stream, so we have to lean into the middle. I can't do
that's
it.
just weird. Okay.
Can't do it. Whatever. So
that's how it's on a phone, is what you're saying.
on a phone, yeah. It's usually it should be one of us in the middle, but we just have to lean in.
Okay.
Lean
That's
into
great.
the center. Anyway, so that's if you're watching on a phone, because this is all done. Oh, we got married. Oh gosh, let's say hello to
Let's
everybody.
say Mary to everybody.
We'll say, oh God, could you stop
Lord.
that? I don't
All
know
right,
what's going
so,
on here. We have
Gilda.
Gilda. Good morning, Gilda. We have Savannah. Good morning, Savannah. We have Wendy. Hello, Wendy. And Shana, and more Gilda, and oh, Laura of the North. Hopefully it's not too frozen up in your tundra. Then we have Jess, and we have Sean, and we have Donna, and Cassie, and Kimberly, and Meredith. And that's
Okay.
hello, good morning, everybody. So if we
That's cool.
if we sit closer together, in the middle, so to speak.
Then you can see half of each of our faces.
Well, the idea is that it's got this automatic vertical kind of stream thing, which I don't know. It might work, it might not. We're sort of in the middle.
It's not that thrilling.
It's not that, well, that's because you don't like being next to me.
Somebody sent a super chat already.
Well, thank you, Meredith, for the super chat. You are awesome. We've set a goal because we're on for a bit longer today. We're hoping for, because we've got a whole new format, which Lisa's going to tell you everything about it. Hello, Carol.
All right.
A whole new format, and yeah, there's going to be like multiple sections,
All
if
right.
it will.
So what we're going to
Explain
do
away.
first, we're first
Explain
going
away.
to, now that we've got all the jumble and techno and crazy stuff talked about, now we're going to come together in community and set our intention to be in sacred space together. So,
So,
I'm going to do our
oh, she's going to
bell
ping the pinger.
ringing. All right,
We
so I
like
guess
a
I'll
bit of
hold it
ping.
in the center.
We like a bit of pinging.
Okay, and then we're going to light the candle.
Because,
We
honey,
have-
I'm sure
We have a
hard to handle
beautiful
now.
gold candle because
That's what we make this time
we
of
make
year.
them for this wintertide time of year.
We have a few left. If I think we have a few
I
left.
don't know,
Last
after
time,
yesterday. We also
Well,
have Gifts of the Magi.
I think we only have 2 of those left.
All right, so we're going to set this intention and come together and take a nice deep breath and just say with us, as above, so below, as within, so without,
as the universe, so the soul.
and just let that energy come in.
Mm.
So we're going to kind of divide up our program that way. First, we're going to have the astrology that'll tell us what's going on above and how it might affect what's going on below. Then we're going to do some sort of discussion each week that'll have hopefully some knowledge and things for you to ponder. Today we're going to talk about the history of the solstice.
Ooh,
Wintertide.
hello. That's, well, very apt and appropriate.
So I don't know that we'll be able to do the whole entire thing because it's quite lengthy. It was a
2-hour class.
It was
plus.
a 2-hour class that I used to do. The last time I taught it was 2016, so that's almost a decade ago. But I did look it over, and it's still got some really cool stuff that you might want to know about. And then we'll do our readings as the universe, so the soul. So we have these 3 segments, and that's what we're going to get to. So let's see if I made note of. I wanted to tell you guys that, you know, things have been really, really quiet for a lot of small mom and pop businesses. And we just kind of want to throw up our hands sometimes. And the other day I actually said, I wonder if anybody really cares that we're here. And then I don't know if you guys saw that somebody made a gingerbread awareness shop, which is off the hook wild. So there's a video about it if you want to go see that. It's crazy, the details, and it smells amazing. But
we're not going to eat it.
No, and I'm sure once we lacquer it to preserve it, that
it won't smell so amazing.
It won't smell so amazing.
We're told we can preserve it for a lifetime, pretty much.
I don't know.
But so much work went into it. Honestly, check it out. We posted the video last night.
It's
Lisa
only
took a little
like
video.
4 minutes long.
So if you can afford 4 minutes, which I'm sure you can, smash up some hearts and likes on that, because we don't even really know the people who made it.
No,
Apparently,
they're friends of friends.
They're friends of friends. But for whatever reason, they got inspired to do our store.
I so wish that I could see the comments, but it's just far enough away that I can't read any of the comments with my glasses off, nor my glasses on. So
I can read you the comments if that will help you.
So somebody sent a super chat. I can see that.
Meredith sent our first super chat. She got us going. We thank you for that. And then Meredith said hello, good morning just before that. Kimberly says hello. Cassie says hello. Donna says hello from Brooklyn. Yes, Anton, same different channel. It's a good thing you know me. Okay. I'm not sure I understand the message.
She's saying she's not on the right channel, but you know who she is.
Right. No, I know. We know you.
Right.
We know you, for goodness sakes.
Then
yeah, you
there's
was
another
like...
super chat, but I can't see
yeah,
from
no,
here.
that's from Laura of the North, who's being very kind, sent us a super chat too. So Cassie says, I'm on the phone and I see you both. Well, thank you, Cassie. That's good.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Double the dose. Carol says, hello, everyone. Hello, Carol. Thank you for joining us. Savannah says, how cool, love the new format. The gingerbread house was incredible. The details were fantastic. They are.
It's nuts.
They are insane. The detail. They must have come and taken some of it. They've even got, you know, like we painted all our shingles. We had different rows of the shingles. They got all them right. It's amazing. I don't think it's at all possible that people don't care. I think we're just having a rough year. Tell me about it. Hopefully these gold candles will help. Well, we're trying, but it would be nice, you know. We've noticed, and to be honest, it's you know, the amount of people say, oh, I just got it on Amazon. I just got it on Amazon. Jeff Bezos has got enough planes.
Apparently, Amazon had a record Black Friday, which is sad. I mean,
and we saw tumbleweed.
We had our Karma Points Customer Appreciation Night, and it was the smallest turnout. We usually see a lot of people. There's cookies and refreshments and giggling, and everybody's all spinning the tombola, and it was just like no problem to wait on people. So strange.
Tumbleweed. I know what's going on.
And tomorrow night we're having a Reiki share. And no one has signed up for that. And that's even crazier because it doesn't cost anything except to get out of your pajamas.
Well, maybe that's what
and
people
a lot
don't
of
want
people
to do.
could probably really use some Reiki.
Maybe that's what they don't want to do.
But I get it. I feel it too. In fact, I will say that a friend of mine who never makes any comments about people's looks said to me the other day, "Are you all right? Because you look terrible."
Oh, that's nice.
And I said,
I don't think you look terrible.
I'm really deeply sad. You know, we have personal things for us to be very stressed and sad about. And then there's things going on with almost every member of our community who is having some sort of illness or heartache or upset. And then our poor country,
Troubled times.
You know, going from being this beacon of hope to being put on the watch list.
Mm.
And then the planet itself, you know, just the destruction that's happening to the Earth itself. It's a lot, and I could see how people would feel really heavy because the energy is really heavy. I was saying to Danny the other day, she's known me for
Eons.
15 years now. I never cry. And I said, I just can't stop crying. It's really crazy.
It's very, very sad because, I mean, you know, around, I don't know if anybody's actually been and read the New Colossus, the poem, The New Colossus, written around the base of the Statue of Liberty. But, you know, the bringers, you're tired, you're hungry, you're huddled masses yearning to breathe free. This was what America was about. This was this place, this wonderful, great melting pot of opportunity. Regardless of where you're from, what language you speak, if you're prepared to like apply yourself and do something, there's opportunity. But that opportunity has been ever so slowly eroded. Subtly at first by the
big corporations,
by the oligarchy, the plutocracy, who basically decided they want all the money and F everybody else, and they don't care who lives or dies as a result of that. And seriously, that is the case. And now we have a kakistocracy. We don't actually have a government. We have the most incompetent and corrupt people running the show that is possible, and destroying our standing on the world stage, and making it fearful for people. I mean, like, we have white privilege. I mean, I'm a damn foreigner, but at least I speak English.
Even those people are being snatched off the street. Anyway, could you read the rest of
I
these
can,
comments? And I think we have some
can.
more peeps here.
I can. So Courtney sent us a super chat, and we thank you for that. Helena says hi, and she says she closed her Amazon account completely. Don't blame you. Wish we could. Helena also said, I just saw the Reiki share just yesterday. It didn't notify me before that. That's because Facebook are only interested in making money. And unless we pay them $1 bazillion, they don't show our effing posts to anybody.
All right, keep reading.
Anyway,
please,
moving on. Yes, it is frustrating. Juniper's joined us. Hello, beautiful friends.
Courtney?
Courtney says hello. Courtney has gained a #1 follower position. So there you go. How about that, Courtney?
All right.
We're impressed. So listen, what we think, especially, and it's funny because we talk weird stuff all the time, and if you'll forgive me, it's not a rant. I promise you, it's not a rant. I'm a very positive person, and so I'm going to try and bring something very positive out of this. We are a niche business. We will survive the rise of AI.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
AI cannot do what we do. AI cannot create community, and one of the most valuable asset we have is our community. We love our community, and there's a small section of it you can see here right now who've got the luxury of being able to join us on the Tube of You when we get on and do our rants. We would love to see that community grow. And, you know, like the Fabergé thing, if you guys tell 2 friends and they tell 2 friends and they tell 2 friends, then maybe, just maybe, our community can grow. And if our community grows, then we can offer more in terms of a place of safety and hope and solace to those who desperately feel frightened or alone or unempowered or disenfranchised. We're a place that I think helps people feel better about themselves. And it's not just Lisa and I. We're nothing more than just hokey tour guides. You understand
we have a beautiful community.
It's our community. It's our community. It's you guys
they support
that make
each
the
other
difference.
and take care of each other.
And just
check on each other.
And just a kind word here and there, or a little gift of something crazy. You know, here I made this eggnog or whatever. You know.
When you crave an eggnog.
No, I am actually now. You had to mention that.
You mentioned it.
I wasn't thinking about eggnog, unless that was like, you know.
Oh, so-
well, it is that time
Anyway.
of year, isn't it? It's too early for
Anyway,
eggnog.
I'm getting anxious. I want to
Oh,
get
don't
on
get anxious.
with the astrology.
We've got a ton of time. We've got a ton of time. So really, this is a big vote of thanks to you guys for being our community and for supporting us. Because without you, we simply wouldn't be. So thank you. And please do your best to grow our community. What's it say? The benefit of knowing other people. Think about what you think about.
It's true, because not everybody thinks the same.
They do not.
But once you find your tribe, people finish your sentences and it's all good. All
well,
right.
you tried to finish my sentences.
So.
I don't know. Sometimes they're a little bit out there.
All right.
Anyway, so we have some astrology.
This is the chart
Isn't it good?
for,
Today?
no, for the new moon.
Oh, for the Sag New Moon.
Sag new moon, and that's what I want to talk about.
That's coming up on
Friday.
The 18th, right?
The day after tomorrow,
Okay.
the 19th.
The 19th.
All right.
I'm sorry.
So yesterday, actually, December 16th,
Years.
was a special day, wasn't it?
Kind of.
Yesterday, December 16th, was the first time that I met Anton in person.
You're actually off by a day. It was December 15th.
It was the 15th?
15th.
What do I know?
About 2:30 in the afternoon. Not that I remember
not that
at
you
all.
remember.
At all, no.
So that was what, 27 years ago?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
The first time we spoke was actually on Thanksgiving, and I know it was chaos for you.
Yeah.
And the phone call lasted for
I don't know, 8 hours or something.
a long time.
Anyway, we don't need to go into all of that because I want time to talk about this.
Please
I just
do.
wanted to
Please
acknowledge,
do. Yeah.
you know, that. All right, so what else you got there in comments? Because this makes me nuts, I can't see.
Goodness gracious me. Well, Courtney says the benefit of knowing other people think about what you think about.
Right,
That is
we
really
did
good.
that.
Savannah thinks Saturday was the new moon. It's technically December
is.
the 19th, but it's late.
Friday at 8:43 p.m.
Yeah, it's late. It's that night. It's that same night, the Friday night into Saturday morning.
Friday at
is the new
8:43
moon.
p.m. I ran a chart.
Yep. And Helena says we're so cute. Ha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At 8:43 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time. Your mileage may
the
vary.
sun and the moon will both be at 28 degrees Sag.
That makes a new moon.
Yeah, 8:43.
The
Alrighty.
sun and moon are conjunct. It has to be a new moon.
All right, so I'm going to start my astrology download here. So, as above, so below, people.
I'll shut up then.
Let us ponder the past 12 months.
Oh, do we have to?
It was like slogging through mud, right?
Or something
You
worse.
would make your task list or your wish list or your weekly planner or whatever you had to do, and it just became like this bigger and bigger slog through the mud. And there were a lot of things that we had talked about that we knew were coming and that we have navigated to get to this point. And we can see, like I was saying a little bit ago, that it's taken its toll on people, that there's this heaviness and this weighted downness and just this kind of block. But that block is going to be lifted. We are coming to the end of the year with the solstice. That is a marker to turn the wheel to the next year. The child of promise is born. We're going to talk a lot more about that. And it's the last new moon. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm trying to scroll back into the comments.
It's the last new moon of the year.
It is.
Did you want to read comments?
No, it's okay. I'm just saying thank you to the people who sent us super chats. Please keep going.
Okay.
Ignore me. You usually do.
It's hard. All right. So, Friday at 8:43 p.m., Sag new moon. And Sagittarius is that higher wisdom, the higher thinker, the one who wants to reach, right? When Pluto was in Sag, that's when the internet came about and the world got smaller.
I really like Sages.
Okay. And then we have the winter solstice at 10:03 a.m. on Sunday. So there's just about 37 hours between this elder new moon, the Sagittarius new moon, the moon of wisdom and higher thinking.
Elder's short, man.
Yeah. And did you want to say?
No, go for it. Go for it. I'm just laughing.
He's making it really hard for me to focus. I'm sorry, people.
You must focus.
All right.
Please.
So here's what I'm going to say. I'm
Shut
not going
up.
to be rude,
But
I'm just
shut
going to continue to talk, and then you could just talk over me, because I know you're desperate to talk. So you go ahead, but I'm not going to pause and listen to you.
All right, well, I'm just going to say hello to Jessica Broser, who has joined us. Hello, new viewer on our channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are especially welcome to our community.
All right. So I'm just going to keep talking now.
Please do.
You can
Please
jump
do.
in whenever you want, but I'm just going to ignore you because I'll never get through this section. It's going to be an hour.
What you
before I
gonna
get through this.
What you
All
gonna
right. So 0 degrees Capricorn, that is that cardinal sign. All the cardinal signs we know change seasons. And Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, is the sign of great responsibility, right? It's the expression of Saturn through Earth, the roots, right? So we have this turning point from this higher wisdom and this knowledge and this reaching out to new things, combined with taking responsibility for what we know. So those 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, are a really good time to reset, right? It's the last new moon and the beginning of the wheel. So that is a huge time of great transformation. We have a lot of other things going on, as you can see by all my notes. A lot of other things going on that can very much help us if we know how to read the language. Now he's purposely not good.
Well, fortunately, you know how to read the language. I just make it up as I go along.
All right. So people who have taken the astrology class know about something called mutual reception.
Oh, I do know about that.
That means when one planet and the other planet are each wearing each other's clothing,
So to speak.
or in each other's ruling place. So Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and Jupiter is in Cancer at 22 degrees.
Okay.
So Jupiter is in Cancer, and it wants to bless things in an extra special way because Jupiter is exalted in Cancer.
It is.
It's exalted in Cancer. It has an extra special energy. So here's the great expander, the great benefactor, exalting blessings in the sign of Cancer, right? So Cancer is the nurturer, the home, the mother kind of energy.
Want to make things nice for the holidays.
The carer. All right.
Make some cookies, maybe.
Now the new moon,
Yes.
moon ruled by Cancer,
Mm.
is in Sagittarius.
Ah. Mutual
And
reception.
Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So the moon and Jupiter at the time of the new moon are in mutual reception. They're wearing each other's clothes. So the moon is saying, I am exalted. I can bring forth psychic energy through the sign of Cancer. I can bring forth this exalted energy of home and nurturing. And the moon, your emotions, is saying, well, I can help you grow. I can help you become emotionally intellectual. I can help you have that emotional intelligence that you've been looking for. I can have you reach higher goals and push yourself a little more without breaking down. All right.
Sounds pretty positive.
Now at the same time, and this is just Friday, people,
Okay.
at the same time, we know that when the sun and moon are in the same sign, that's when we get a new moon. So the sun is at 28 degrees Sag, and when we get to the last few degrees, that last 10 degrees, it's called the last decan, right? So every sign has 30 degrees, and the first 10 degrees are the truth of that sign. The second 10 degrees are that sign with the flavor of the next sign of the same element. And the third 10 degrees, the last sign of the same element. So if we had Sagittarius, and we go along, the next sign is fire sign, is Aries. And the last fire sign for this last decan
would be Leo.
is Leo.
What about me?
Now, Leo awakens Regulus,
What is the
the
heart of the
heart
lion?
of the lion. And that fixed star, Regulus Regulus, sits at the end of Leo. So it's all part of this energy of these last few degrees of things, right?
Am I allowed to interject a
Sure.
teeny bit? Once upon a time, many moons ago, before we got into Western astrology, the Sumerians and the Arabs were much better at it, believe it or not. And the sign of Leo, well, it wasn't called Leo, it was just the lion, was considerably bigger. It extended both into Cancer and into...
But Regulus, the fixed star,
was the heart of the lion, smack bang center of it. So Regulus really important. It's one of the 4 fixed stars.
right, and that's where we get the whole hunting of the wren, but we won't go into that just now.
Yep.
All right. So we have this exaltation of Jupiter wanting to nurture. We have this pinging of the heart of the lion to get to your core with this beautiful light of the luminaries, right?
Funny you should say core.
Corazon, yeah.
Heart.
All right. Gosh, I don't know what I want to go to next because there's just so much. All right. So I'm sure everybody has heard of the 13th sign of the zodiac, Ophiuchus, blah, 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 which don't worry about that. There is none. But what we have between Sag and Capricorn is the galactic center, which is where the sky opens. And like you could think of the energy of the Milky Way, the great milk of the goddess, which we have this exaltation of Jupiter, the cup to catch.
Breasts of heaven, Cassiopeia,
Right.
and all that malarkey.
The cup, right? So the skies are really giving us some wild things to look at. All right. So we have this new moon at the opening, right? At the galactic center. The sun and moon are lighting up the galactic center with the heart of the lion and the cup of Jupiter.
It's almost the way, if you'll forgive me, and there is a question here, I promise you. The way that you've been talking about the way things have been coming round, it's almost like everything's coming back to a complete reset. It's almost
this is
like
a reset
new
time.
start of a brand new cycle.
It is.
Hopefully we've learned some shit.
The energy that I wrote right here, the energy that you put into this new moon and this solstice reset are going to be what paints 2026 for you. But the astrology, like every time we look as astrologers, we go, my God, this is huge. My God, this is huge.
It's always huge.
And this is really wild. Okay, so I'm going to keep going because we've got plenty of time today. I don't have to feel pressured. So you're getting like this huge astrological lesson. Did somebody say something?
Yes, Lizette. She's saying she's just hopped on for a second. Wanted to say hello and beautiful energy to everybody. She's travelling between branches today.
Oh.
So, well, yeah, well, do your best. Don't be distracted. You can listen to us on audio.
All right.
We sound just as good as we look.
So we have a great transformation, right? We have this great transformation. And when we look at the little lineup here,
it's all lines and lines.
when we look at the lineup here, we have Mercury at 10 degrees Sag, Venus at 24 degrees Sag, Sun and Moon at 28 degrees Sag, and Mars at 3 degrees Capricorn. So that's still considered like an out of sign
conjunction, yeah.
So what we have,
Mars and Capricorn, though.
yeah, well, that's exalted. I'm going to talk about that too, right? It's crazy. All right, so not only is Jupiter in exaltation, Jupiter is in mutual reception. So that's like a double dose of brilliance and benefit. Okay, so remember back when Mars was in Cancer, and I was like, Mars is in its detriment. Cancer hates Mars. Mars hates Cancer. Blah blah blah. Well, the opposite of a detriment is an exaltation. So Mars is exalted in Capricorn. That's the opposite of Cancer. So Mars says, let us take responsibility. Let us take action. Let us solidify something, right? Yes, Mars is a malefic planet.
Yes.
But it can be harnessed and controlled. And if any sign can control it, it's Capricorn, because Capricorn is the secret agenda to control everything.
It does. Capricorn,
right?
Capricorn definitely has a hidden agenda for its ulterior motive.
All right. But the two luminaries, the Sun and the Moon, are being flanked by Mars and Venus. This is an alchemy that's happening, right? Mars and Venus are that
is above, so below.
The energy that we see on the Empress card, they are that alchemy of bringing things in and making things real. Okay, that's the ancient symbol for Mars before they just made an arrow.
Cross above the circle.
All right. So when you look at this, you go, oh my goodness, right? Mercury is in Sag. Oh, and Mercury is squaring the nodes. So Mercury in Sag, the higher thinker now, wants to talk, wants to receive this information and make something out of it, right?
Mercurial people generally don't want to shut up, do they?
But it is squaring the nodes that are in Pisces and Virgo, and it's a T-square.
Yeah.
Right? So we know when we have a T-square, the missing leg is the answer to this. So here's Mercury, who wants to find out as much information as possible in Sagittarius and report it. And the missing leg is Gemini, the reporter. So we really want to watch information this week.
Or perhaps suppression of information.
We really want to watch AI and figure out if it's real or not. We really don't want to report or post things that we don't check.
Yep.
Because we could be spreading misinformation.
Yep.
And I don't believe there is going to be any way for things to be suppressed, especially on Friday. So it'll be interesting to see how a certain orange...
I think certain people are going to try like hell
to suppress.
There's going to be some, how should we say, distraction.
All right. So again, we see...
Look over here.
Again, we see this alchemy, this transformation, right? So we have this lineup. Mercury in Sag, Venus in Sag, Sun, Moon in Sag, Mars in Capricorn. And it is the opposite of that Mars in Cancer energy that was just like every day, ugh, right? All right.
Can I interject for 2 seconds and ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Is not this Friday supposed to be the deadline when all of them
don't
files
say that.
is supposed to be...
Exactly. It's
is
no accident
supposed
there.
to be
Yeah.
released?
All right.
Deadline?
All right, so to talk about things that will distract a little bit, yes, there's that. I don't know how they're going to suppress that, but we'll see, because I know they're going to try. And they may be using the energy of Uranus in Taurus, which is in an inconjunct to the moon. But that, I think, is really going to cause more disruption and interruption and earthquake and expect the unexpected. So we might get a download of those files, right? But I am a little concerned about the new moon and the tides and tsunamis, earthquakes. You've still got Neptune and Saturn at the last few degrees of Pisces, so they are squaring the new moon.
Strong indication
Right?
of seismic activity, probable
Yep.
tsunamis.
They're squaring the new moon,
Yep.
right? So Saturn is still saying you got to make your dreams real, and now the new moon is being, awakened by this exaltation and mutual reception. So it is a really amazing time. Now,
There's a massive amount of flooding going on in Washington right now, which is not really being reported.
And then
to be honest,
acres and acres of land in Alaska was signed over.
oh
They
well,
could,
you know.
So there's a lot of stuff going on with the Earth, but we've just got to be careful to check our facts, not report gossip or fake news. Really scrutinize things, because this Gemini, the reporter, can dig deep, right? And we still have Pluto in Aquarius that says power to the people here. All right, so this 37 hours is going to be very interesting. Then I also wanted to talk about the tarot cards involved.
Aha, of course,
All right.
Temperance.
So Temperance is the Sag card. Alchemy. Healing.
Excuse me,
Right?
Molly.
This
Wrong one.
alchemical energy of Temperance. So this is, our new moon is in this sign that links to this card. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is an energy of healing and resurrection. There is a balance of elements. And if we look at 28 degrees, 28 reduces to a 10, which reduces to a 1. So here's this wheel of change,
Which
the
is
solstice, turn the wheel. And the other alchemist is the one, the magician. So don't compromise, alchemize here.
Don't compromise.
Don't compromise,
alchemize.
alchemize.
I like it. You should trademark
I should
that.
patent that, yes. So really let's have a think. What is burdening you? Right? Because with that 10 energy, that 2-8-10 energy, we get the 10 of Swords, which is that heavy betrayal kind of feeling. We get the 10 of Wands, carrying the burdens. But we also get the 10 of Pentacles, the responsibilities to family. We get the 10 of Cups.
Which is a bloody
promise.
joyful card.
It is a promise.
It's a joyful card.
So, what is it that you feel this year, this past year? What held you back? What held you up? What did you have trouble processing? What did you have trouble rethinking, resetting, redoing, or understanding? Right? So, you may have been faced with more than one thing, but you may have been faced with something that you've never had to deal with before, or that you've never had to deal with on such an intense level, right? We've all been ill, but maybe there was some major illness. We've all felt unsafe, but maybe there was something that really made you feel unsafe.
Some very personal, direct threat.
We've all felt disconnected, but maybe there was something that truly made you feel lonesome or left out. We've all had financial issues, but maybe there was something financially devastating or worrisome. So have a look and think about what you could look at again, what you could restructure, what you could renovate, what you could change, and what you could take action, Mars, responsibility for, right? So if you're saying, well, I'm working from home, I'm getting my groceries delivered, I don't have to go out hardly ever, but I feel very isolated. Well, now this week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, would be a time to make a schedule of when you're going to go and visit people.
Unisolate yourself.
Right? I'm going to look to the library and see what classes they have and what I might like to take. Or I'm going to see if there's some sort of group I could join. Maybe you've wanted to be healthy for a long time, and maybe now you can find a Weight Watchers group somewhere and you can be part of that community. Or maybe you decide you're going to get out of your pajamas and come to Circle. Whatever it is, it's time to make the plan and to reset. If it's financial, figure out how you could make some more money or how you could save some money. Are there things that you're paying for that you're not even using? Could you sell some things that you bought that you don't like or want anymore? Right?
Could be benefit to somebody else.
It's great to donate clothes and shoes and bags and things like that. But if there's something that you paid a lot of money for, sell them on Marketplace. Get them out of your space and make some money, Could you volunteer somewhere to help someone? Or could you help someone with something that they would pay you for, like cleaning or whatever it is?
I want to add something here, just something here, and this really does make a difference. You've all heard the expression, "Oh, master, I am uninspired," and the master says to his student, go inspire others. One of the best ways to pull yourself out of a funk is to do something for somebody else. Mm-hmm. It feels amazingly good, even if that person doesn't necessarily immediately appreciate it. The very fact that you have done something positive, the very fact that you have aligned your energy in reparation, in assistance, in kindness, in love, changes the whole damn game. At the moment, the vast majority of us, courtesy of largely the national media and the powers that be that own the national media.
They want us to be frightened.
They want us to be frightened. They want us to feel disempowered. They want free reign to be able to do whatever the hell they want.
Divide and conquer is the oldest thing in the book,
and for us
right?
to feel there is nothing we can do about it, that we just got to suck it up and, suck it up, buttercup.
Is there any way you could pull the computer towards us without unplugging things?
I could certainly
just a tiny bit, so it's not in the...
Juniper's just sent us it.
I know. I'm trying so hard to be able to see.
I'm trying not to unplug shit. Is the problem. This is the issue.
Yes. See? Now
I've unplugged shit. Oh. See, that's exactly what I didn't want to do. Okay, so we're back, hopefully.
Now I can see.
If I don't
It's a bit intimidating, the astrology. Every time I look at it, I feel so anxious for some reason. Regulus and Mars on his AC.
AC line? I don't know what AC line is. It's short for something, I'm sure.
Curious. We're talking about a particular person.
We're talking about somebody who's definitely orange.
Yes. I think that thing to look out for him is that Uranus in his house of public speaking, and he's going to have, and career, and he's going to have a Uranus return. He's
probably going to have a complete public meltdown.
And that is, Uranus return is more intense than the second Saturn return. But yes, I get what you're saying, that it depends on what kind of chart you're using. where you see the ascendant, whether Mars is in the 12th or in the first house. So I don't know if you're doing whole house astrology or like Hellenistic astrology or
Tropical, Placidius, yeah, etc.,
anyway.
etc., etc. It all changes.
But yeah, everything is taking place in that self-undoing self kind of place for him, absolutely. But I think things are going to bust loose in the next couple of months.
Going to have to.
And that February-April squeeze when Uranus finally moves into Gemini for the last time. Right, comes out of Taurus, moves into Gemini. But I'll talk more about that as we go along.
There comes a point, believe me, where even the most isolated, echo-chambered, how should we say, intellectually challenged individual realizes that they've been lied to spectacularly, that they've been conned. And that day is getting much closer, you know, because some of the stuff that Velveeta Voldemort decides to spew out is so patently false now,
and just horrific,
and unbelievable.
I really don't want to
we're
spend
not going to spend any time on him. He's not worth it.
What you understand is you're feeding energy that you don't want to feed.
No, I feed him nothing.
So that might be something else that I'm not saying don't be informed or don't find out the truth or don't pray for peace. I'm not saying to just ignore all that. You can't just ignore it all. But be really mindful of allowing that to consume all the energy. Oh my God, yes.
Absolutely.
The reason that these things are put out for us to be so angry and upset and appalled about are so that they can suck that energy in for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a really important time, this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that we do not lend the bad, slogging, mucky stuff any more energy, right? It's a time of reset.
Change your focus.
Right? Don't watch the news if it makes you upset. Yeah. Go somewhere where you can...
Savannah says cancel.
Exactly. Cancel. Exactly. Don't think bad thoughts. Go and get... there's that person, Heather Cox Richardson. And she writes like a blog every day.
She'll just voluminous amounts.
And she'll give it to you like Walter Cronkite. It's not like this is what I think about it. It's like A happened, B happened, C happened, D happened, so and so said this. Direct quote. Do that because you can stop reading whenever you want.
It's a long and involved read, but it's worth the effort.
Don't listen to the
Get your facts.
Don't listen to his voice.
Nope.
Don't let his energy suck anything from you. And don't be afraid of his craziness, right? Because there are a lot of people out there living in fear financially, living in fear about their medical issues, living in fear about their being homeless. Don't give that energy. When you have those negative thoughts, cancel. And repeat, I am safe, I am loved, I am happy, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am whatever it is that you, for a second, got afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Reclaim your power.
Right? Like, turn it around. Oh my God, I'm worried about this. Nope, I am safe. Oh my God, I'm worried about money. Nope, I am wealthy. Oh my God, I'm worried about being ill. Nope, I am healthy. Right? Don't give the negative stuff any energy.
Reclaim your power.
All right.
So hello, Samson O.
I agree. We can't go out and let it consume us or trigger us.
Just focus on ourselves and loved ones. Yeah, it's exactly right.
And
Jennifer.
Samson says Heather Cox Richardson is a fantastic source. Jessica says be strong, smile.
And wave. Yeah.
Lori's showed up. Good morning, peeps. Good morning. Can't give your little energy away.
Yeah, no, well,
I am healthy,
spread the
I am
love.
Wealthy, I am wise.
Spread the
love. So I'm going to put Lori on here.
Hello. You know, we are very, very, very powerful people, and we forget that. We allow, one of the strongest things we have, which is also our greatest weakness, is our minds, to be honest. And the mind games that are played upon us at the moment to disempower us, to disenfranchise us, to make us feel like ineffective, unable to bring about change, is exactly what those who wish to bring about ill effect are trying to achieve upon us. So have no truck with it. Have no truck with it. Instead, look to your community. Look to your community. Look to be a vibrant beacon of light. Look to be, no, we start at 11:11, Laurie. You didn't get the memo. It's a whole new format.
Whole new format.
Whole new format. Whole new format.
You can go back and watch the astrology because it's a really big,
It's a
fat,
good
hairy
one.
deal. Okay,
It's a big fat
there's
hairy
a lot of really wonderful stuff offering us a new year like we've never seen in
But it's
our lifetime.
It's up to us to claim it.
Right? Oh yeah, this is again one of those you do nothing, you'll get nothing. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. Make a plan, plant your seeds, act in some way, take an action. Okay? Now, we said that 28 in numerology becomes a 10, becomes a 1.
Does that?
So we have the great alchemists. And then
as
we
above, so
also
below.
have the 4 aces,
Oh,
which
aren't they
reside
lovely?
in the top of the tree in the sphere of Keter, where the energy from source comes in. Right?
This is very inceptual stuff, isn't it?
So even these hands are, would you hold these two?
Oh, of course I will.
See,
with
these
pleasure.
feminine elements are as above, so below. See that?
Let's
Yeah.
get him in the middle somehow.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. So, what energy do you want? What do you want to bring to you? And really give it, get a piece of paper. Even if you just write a few goals on there, do something. Mars says, take responsible action. Do something.
You have more tools available to you than you could possibly imagine. Not least the strength of your mind, the strength of your resolve. So many people get hung up with the idea of, like, you know, things would be so much better if. But I have to tell you, it's not about what you might be able to do with something you don't have. It's what you can actually do with what you've got right now. And you've got a lot. You've got an awful lot. You've got an incredible community accessible to you if you're part of this.
Well, there's a bunch of tools in this toolbox here.
And you've got the makings of an astrological reset, providing you can tune your brain into the positive stuff and not get sucked down the negative rabbit hole.
I think the issue is people in general are creatures of habit. We fall into a pattern and a way of doing something. And we can prove we're creatures of habit just by, for an example, our sleeping habits, right? Let's say that we have this job where we have to get up at 6 o'clock every morning. So we get up at 6 for years and years and years. And then we go on vacation. It is really hard to get your body to sleep past 6. It's like your clock is set. Do you know what I mean?
You're accustomed to it.
So, you know, you really have to just say, no, I'm not getting out of bed. I'm going to turn over and make sure it's dark. I'm not listening about blah. I'm going to stay in bed. But it takes a while to reset that habit. The same thing goes for whatever other habits we have.
Indeed.
I'm going to wait till the last second to do X, Y, Z. I
That's
know
not
it
a
has
good
to be
idea.
done.
That's not a good
That's
idea.
the pattern we give ourselves. Or I know I shouldn't eat this, but I'm used to eating it and now I crave it, so I'm just going to eat it anyway and sabotage myself, right? We are creatures of habit. What we have in this astrological toolbox Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are tools to break bad habits or to change a habit to help us get where we want to go. I'm serious. If it's financial, redo your budget, even if you're just looking at it again and again. If it's health-wise, make a plan. What can I eat that's different? Can I take some vitamins? Can I go for a walk? If it's loneliness, how can I be involved with other people in community or whatever, even if it's just a couple of people? Maybe I'm going to invite them to my house because I don't want to leave, but I'd really like to have some people for a meditation or whatever.
You know what?
Time to get it going.
Even if nothing else, pick up the damn phone and call somebody.
Texting.
Don't text them. Call them. Speak. Laugh. When was the last time you laughed with somebody?
Is the Powerball tonight or last
I
night?
thought it was last night. Didn't we win?
Is the Powerball tonight or last night? I thought it was last night, and it's 1.25 billion.
1.25 billion. Think of the good we could do with that.
That would be nice.
So would think of the good we could do with that.
Think of the number of people we could help.
And would.
Right.
So anyway, moving swiftly along, astrologically, a brilliant time for a reset, but it's down to you to actually seize that opportunity.
Make the change, or it's not going to change.
You can't just sit on your ass and go, well, I wish things had changed. You have to be an active participant in this, If you want something to change, you need to change it, and it really is that. And you have the tools to do it. Have no truck with those who say, oh, no, that'll never happen. Oh, we're screwed. Oh, it's just terrible. Just separate yourself from the naysayers. Find yourself... Cancel. Find yourself a supportive community that's going to bring the best out in you, or allow you to bring out the best out in you, which is, ultimately that's all the change that we can bring about in the world is change to ourselves. But if we change ourselves, everything around us does change, because necessarily that relationship changes.
But it's really hard to change a habit.
It is.
If you always get a coffee at Starbucks and you get the $10 one, and then, it's no good for you health-wise and it's bad for you financially, but if your body is used to having that caffeine every morning with that hit of sugar, hard to change that habit, even though it's financially draining, $50 a week.
For $50 you could get yourself one hell of a thermos, believe me.
But I'm just saying, it's
so
hard to step out of that
nice
habit.
Coffee at home.
And then, the sugar is poisoning you. But what do? You're in that cycle, you're in that habit. This is the time of reset. Jupiter exalted in mutual reception with the new moon. Mars exalted. Mars and Venus, alchemy flanking the new moon and the sun. This is a time of great change.
Yoff is just logged on. Need to get used to this. Yoff, you'll get used to it. You got used to us. Huh? I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, so there you go.
Oh, see, he needs to change his habit.
And Jessica, instant Folgers. Well, there's nicer than Folgers. They always said the best part of waking up is the Folgers in your cup.
Oh, I love Folgers, but it's not organic, so we only eat organic now.
We do organic now, and there's also, what you got to bear in mind, it's not just organic, fair trade, so where there's not been exploitation of people or the planet.
That's another whole story.
But that's another story. That's
right.
About how to make life
so
better.
Look, we're about an hour in, and we haven't even started our workshop thing.
No, but we are up to 8 out of 15 super chats, so we thank you for that. We would love you, because our chickens desperately need a new home, and you know the cost of wood. And if you don't need me to remind you, it's obscene. So yeah, please spare us a nickel or a two or a buck, because we've got to build it.
If one of you wins the Powerball, I'm expecting that there's going to be a Celtica.
Well, if we win the Powerball, there will be.
There will definitely be a Celtica.
Well, we already started Celtica. We have the Celtica Gardens. We've got the Celtica Clucks. We ain't got much space, but we made a start.
All right, Christmas time is pagan.
Isn't it just? So am I allowed to relate to the little story about the one fellow who came along to your class? All right.
Could you in a bit?
Yes, in a bit.
All right.
In a bit.
And then
I'll
give you these papers, and you can talk about what you want to talk about, and I'll interject. Okay? Because this is kind of in a nice order. All right. So what I'd like to say is Christmas time is
only the depth
pagan.
that varies. I'm always in it. Go on.
Who is Mithras?
Well, there's a myth for you.
Santa. Santa the shaman? Or Satan? Santa...
Well, if you misspell it.
And what about those three astrologers? Gaspar, Melchior, and Balthazar. All right. So what we should start with first...
I'm glad you know their names, because I don't.
I do.
Well done, you.
There's a lot of Bible references in here for sure. All right. But let us first look to nature.
Nature is good.
What does the word solstice mean?
Well, we take about the word sol. Sol means sun, you know, solar, where we get from. So sol is our sun, it's our star, it's we orbit around it. And stis is a contraction of stasis, meaning
Or
to
station,
stand still,
right? Yeah.
which is where we get station from, stationary, you know. So solstice is where we become the sun stands still.
It appears not to move along when it's rising on the horizon.
For a period of 3 days.
3 days.
3 days.
All right. So, then what happens?
Then we see it move.
And then, so if the time of 0 degrees Capricorn denotes the winter solstice, and that can be around the 21st or the 22nd, most likely.
Guess when you're going to see the sun
Then
move.
the sun would start to move again on the 25th.
What a great idea for a Mass for Christ.
Okay, so here we have,
Mm.
isn't it interesting that people believe if they tell you lies long enough, the lies will become your truth?
Really?
Keep in mind that Christmas as we know it nowadays, with Santa and all the trimmings, was only declared a holiday in the United States in 1870.
Wow. No shit. Really?
Queen Victoria's husband, Albert, was German. And he introduced the Tannenbaum, the Christmas tree, to the palace in 1848. Here are a few interesting facts that I've quoted from many articles over the history that are fascinating. So you wanted to talk about a gentleman that came to this class the last time I taught it.
You know, it is true. We know this. We teach the craft of the wise enough to know that conditioned beliefs, especially something that, you know, your parents and your parents' parents have told you your entire life, and you've lived this entire life, and this has become your reality. When that bubble gets burst, when you realize that what you've actually been told is not entirely accurate, sometimes it can be really bloody hard to let go of that core belief. And I know Lisa taught this class originally as like a 2-hour kind of workshop as into the origins of Christmas and where it came from, because spoiler alert, it's as pagan as it comes, okay? I mean, and Christianity is a sun cult, but we'll move more into that in a moment. It's a shock, and we had this one poor guy who just lost it completely and just couldn't take any more and just ran out screaming.
And he just couldn't cope.
He just ran out screaming, pretty much, you know, like, what have I turned into?
Right. So although the whole world celebrates Christmas as a Christian holiday, and it includes millions of non-Christians as well, but is Christmas really Christian at all? I mean, Christ himself wasn't Christian.
Nowhere in the Bible does it say he
So
was
let's-
born on Christmas either.
Let's look high and low through the pages of the Bible and see if we can find one word about Christmas being celebrated by any one of Jehovah's people. What does it say?
I don't know. It's a new viewer, so thank you. Welcome, new
Core
viewer.
belief work is
Look
what?
out on the what we don't know, but you're looking out on it. The core belief is what I've been working on, asking, where has this belief led me to? Self-abandonment? Well, don't abandon yourself,
I
my
think
friend.
we
That's
all
not wise.
we all have a core belief system that we're raised with,
We do.
right? Like some people are raised agnostic,
Some
and
are.
they still don't know, how to accept myth as faith. And other people are raised in other faiths, and then the more they go digging, they find out that faith is the only thing that really is the truth about those myths. Like,
The faith
understand that we're coming from a place where we speak about Christ as the Christ myth. It is a valid mythology, but we want to see, where did that myth come from?
Let me just also add, Christ per se now does exist simply because it
Absolutely.
become a valid thought form. There's that many people believe in this deity's existence that ergo it must exist.
Well, the spirit of Santa Claus certainly exists.
Doesn't it?
Whether he was a shaman who came down a chimney, or whether he was an energy that awakened the Shashumna at the turning of the light. Shashumna means chimney. Anyway.
Interestingly.
All right. So,
anyway, pray continue.
is there anything about Christmas in the Bible? Is there anything about the Messiah or his apostles observing this holiday? Even in the New Testament? I think
Not.
Christian is to have mercy and grace towards others and keep a clean heart.
To feel his love is Christ. Well, we're not going to poo-poo anybody's belief.
We're just
your
reporting on
truth
what
is
we
your
found.
truth, and this is totally fine. And I wish, Jessica, an awful lot more so-called Christians actually had that mindset, because
We're never going to get off page 1.
taking care of the poor, looking after other people, no, doesn't seem to work with a lot of militant Christians right now. Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
Please continue.
Yet on the other hand, the pagan heathen world observed this day for thousands of years. Before the Messiah was born. But was he born on December 25th?
No.
Where did these mysterious rites and ceremonies that surround this day come from? What about the Christmas tree? Or the Yule log? Or mistletoe and holly?
Interesting.
Are any of these customs truly Christian in origin? And what about that fat, jolly Saint Nick guy?
Who gets stuck in the chimney?
It's high time we address these questions and took a look at Christmas. A church that I was formerly a member of, which condemned Christmas observances as paganism, this is a quote from an article, for almost 60 years, today has turned its back on its former beliefs and encourages its member to observe this pagan midwinter festival in honor of Christ. Many are doing so, needless of this severe warning in Scripture of what their eternal fate and destiny would be if they embraced this ancient custom. So this was a quote from an article. Now, in the beginning of the Bible it says, "Thou shalt have no gods before me."
It doesn't indicate there may be other gods.
It does kind of tell us there might
A
be
little bit of a
others.
giveaway
All
there.
right. Is it
Giveaway.
wrong to celebrate Christmas then? What is the truth about this holiday?
Well, I don't know if you guys know, but in Scotland, the reason they celebrate Hogmanay is Christmas was actually banned. The Presbyterians really didn't
So
go
they
for
have the
Christmas. It was
Hogfather.
pagan, so they went for Hogmanay,
Which is like a Santa sort of
Ah,
thing.
It's getting interesting.
It's more
but
like
more on
Wotan or
that.
Woden or...
More on
yeah.
that later,
All right.
perhaps.
The origins of Christmas. Before one gets carried away with Christmas worshipping, there are a few things we should know. Let's take an honest and objective look at the holiday. We read in Werner Keller's book, The Bible as History, the following admission. December 25th is referred to in documents as Christmas Day for the first time in 324 AD. Under the Roman Emperor
Justinian.
It was recognized as an official holiday. An old Roman festival played a major part in the choice of this particular day. Well, because the Romans tried to assimilate like the Borg, right? So
Yeah,
they're like,
they?
okay, what's your belief? Well, we got this and we can blend them. All right. December 25th in ancient Rome was Dies Natali Invictus, the birthday of the unconquered. Sol Invictus, the sun. The day of the winter solstice. At the same time in Rome, the last day of Saturnalia. All right, so now we know Saturn is the planet of karma and restriction, and there was this big festival that the nobility and the slaves
Switch places, so to speak,
and it was just this kind of chaotic time of
the Lord of Misrule.
yeah.
And just as an aside, even today, certainly speaking from personal experience in the British forces, and I think also in America too, but correct me if I'm wrong, on Christmas Day the officers serve the enlisted men. That is custom. That if you are unfortunate enough not to have got leave for that particular time of year, then you will find the officers actually serving you dinner and generally looking after you for the day.
All right, so in Rome it was the last day of Saturnalia, which was kind of this crazy week of carnival energy.
Just misrule.
But doesn't it seem rather strange that this so-called Christian church should choose a day to celebrate the Messiah's birth, which had already been identified as the birth of the unconquered SUN, the day of the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, when the sun-lit part of the day started to become longer. What does this have to do with this Messiah? Was Yeshua, Jehovah, the Messiah, born anywhere near December 25th?
We think not.
Keller goes on. Meteorologists, as well as historians and astronomers, have something of importance to contribute to the question of fixing the date of the birth of Jesus. According to St. Luke, and there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. Luke 2:8.
Doesn't really seem like midwinter to you, does that?
Meteorologists have made exact recordings of the temperatures at Hebron, the spot in the southern highlands of Judah, and it exhibits the same climate conditions as Bethlehem, which is not far in distance. The temperature readings show over a period of 3 months that the incidence of frost is as follows: December 2.8 degrees, January 1.6 degrees, and February 0.1 degrees. Now these must be in centigrade.
Yeah.
The first 2 months have also the greatest rainfall in the year, approximately 6 inches in December, 8 inches in January. According to all existing information, the climate of Palestine has not changed for the last 2,000 years. Consequently, modern meteorological observations can be taken as a basis. At Christmas time, Bethlehem is in the grip of frost, and in the Promised Land, no cattle would have been in a field at that low temperature. The fact is borne out by a remark in the Talmud to the effect that in that neighborhood the flocks were put out to grass in March. Oh, late February, March. Pisces, Lamb of God. And then brought in again in the beginning of November. They remained out in the open for almost 8 months. Around Christmas time nowadays, both animals and shepherds would be under cover in Palestine. I don't want to talk about the horrors there. What St. Luke tells us points therefore to the birth of Jesus having taken place either before the onset of winter
Or after.
or he's a Pisces, which, since he's dubbed the fisherman of man, Pisces would make more sense astrologically. But anyway, how interesting, how fascinating. As we explore the time for the birth of the Messiah, we find he was born nowhere near December 25th, the very date the world has chosen to celebrate his supposed birthday. But remember, they don't call it that in the beginning. They declare it a Mass for Christ.
Well, it still is.
They don't say that it's
Mass.
Jesus' birthday. That came later. But there's much to this story. When was Yeshua, the Messiah, really born? Millions of Christians, or people who think they are followers of the religion of the Messiah, have been deceived. Who is this? The original Old Christmas is the Epiphany on January 6th. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the original old Christmas is Epiphany, January 6th, Little Christmas as it's known, yeah, to be honest, which is
Solstice
an old Anabaptist, now Amish and Mennonite still to this day in old orders observe. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
There's
You're
more
not
stuff
wrong.
here. Solstice
So
and
Yule,
Yule.
there were times celebrated as Holy Week. It's always been a celebration, even in ancient Rome when they celebrated Saturnalia. Very festive time too. Which is what we're talking about right now, Juniper. Tell your friends. Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
So you got to the hiss. Millions of ostensible Christians, or nominal Christians,
Who think they are the followers of the religion of the Messiah have been deceived. Not only have they foolishly embraced the erroneous tradition as if it were actually a Christian tradition, but they've been lied to, misled by preachers and ministers and priests, and they have all assumed that they were worshiping Jesus. Yet the Messiah himself warned, "Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. For laying aside the commandment of God, ye hold the tradition of men."
which is Mark 7,
7,
8, if you really want to know. There are some Bible quotes here.
The Gospel
you're
of
into that.
Matthew also records similar words spoken by the Messiah. Notice, "Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, The people draweth nigh unto me with their mouths, and honoureth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain do they worship me, teaching of doctrines of the commandments of men."
Which is Matthew 15, 7 to 9. So, it should be on page 4 now. Where is it? 5 even. Okay.
Let's look into this matter a little more honestly, and let's examine the evidence while we seek the truth. When was the Messiah born? Was it anywhere near December 25th? And if not, then why believe a lie? Why practice or perform this lie? The birth of the Messiah is not known for certain, but we can know the approximate time of year when he was born. In the book of Luke, we read that the father of John the Baptist was Zacharias, and he was the priest who served at the temple in Jerusalem. He was of the course of Arabia, Luke 1:5. While serving at the temple, he was informed by an angel that his wife was to have a son, who was to be named John. After this, Zachariah finished the days of his ministration and departed to his own house. After those days, his wife Elizabeth conceived. The names of the different courses of priests that served at the temple are given in Chronicles 24, 1 through 19. Abia, or Abijah, was the 8th course. According to the Jewish historian Josephus,
Josephus, or
Josephus.
however you pronounce it.
Each one of these courses served at the temple for 1 week. The first course serving the first week of Nisan. In the spring, compare Chronicles 27. And then each course is giving its own order. All the priests served during the annual festivities of Passover in spring, the Pentecost, and the Tabernacles in the fall. After 6 months, the order would be repeated. Thus, each course would serve 2 weeks during a year. The course of Abijah, then, would have served the 8th week in rotation, the 8th week from Nisan 1. Leaving out the week of Passover when the priests served, we would be near the day before the Pentecost, which is near Easter. Pentecostal, Easter, right? So therefore,
I think you missed the bit where it's pretty close to March 6, wasn't it? Sivan 6. It's from, this is the Hebrew calendar, and I'm not good at that. Iyar 27 to Sivan 5, the day just before Pentecost, which generally fell on Sivan 6. After serving a week in the temple, Zacharias would have remained another week in Jerusalem because of the feast of Shabbat, or Pentecost, that week. Continue.
no, go ahead.
Okay. Therefore he returned home shortly after this, and his wife then conceived. This would have been about the middle of June, believe it or not. If we add 9 months to this date, the nominal time for the gestation of a human baby in the womb, John the Baptist would have been born about the middle of March. March in spring, shortly before the Passover. So Yeshua, or Yeshua,
the
Jehovah,
Messiah,
however you want to call it, was conceived about 6 months later after John, according to Luke 1:24 to 34, especially cited in verse 26. It would suggest that Yeshua the Messiah was conceived about the middle of December. This would place his birth 9 months, or 270 days later, in the month of September.
Virgo the Virgin, maybe? Giving birth to the...
So who exactly was born on December 25th?
the Sun, S-U-N.
If the Messiah was not born on December 25th, then who was? In other words, whose birthday is the whole Christian world really celebrating December 25th? Though they would call it the birth of Christ, or put it another way, what Christ are they talking about? The word Christ, remember, is merely the translation of the Greek word Christos, which means anointed one. It comes from the Hebrew word Moshiach, or Moshiach, from whence we get the word Messiah. So what anointed one was actually born on December 25th? So if we, as sleuths, take out our magnifying glass and look a little deeper,
Look again.
do
and
some
we'll see
detective
more.
work, Sherlock Holmes style, see if we can actually solve the mystery. The puzzle of why the whole world observes the birthday of Yeshua the Messiah on the day on which he was not even remotely born, in the book of the History of Rome by Michael Grant, we read this startling revelation. So, let's...
You're there.
No, I'm not. Should be on 7.
Okay.
Yet there was also another...
You can't have it all. You have to have it where I can see it too.
6 to 7.
No, I'm just saying you cannot take all of
Oh,
the papers.
right.
You have to
Oh,
leave this here
yeah.
where I can see
I'm
too.
sorry. Forgive me. I'm not trying to be difficult.
I can take these away.
Take them away. Take them away.
But
Move
you have
on.
to share this.
All right. There was also another pagan belief during this same epoch that much more neatly competed with Christ for the control of the Western world. This was indeed the cult of the sun.
The S-U-N.
Yes, which was revered by millions of the inhabitants of the Roman Empire and its religion for a time, and even became state-sponsored worship, if you will. In Rome, the divinity of the sun came very early on, and then, centuries afterwards, in the superb dome of Hadrian's Pantheon, the central opening, surrounded by starlight rosettes, represented the solar orb. Before long, the Emperor Aurelian established a massive temple of the unconquerable sun,
Sol Invictus,
as the central and focal point of the entire religious system of the state. This would have been 274 AD. The birthday of the god was to be on December 25th, and this was transformed into Christmas Day as one of the heritages that Christianity owed to his cult. And you're going to find that on pages 391 to 392
in the History of Rome
book
by Michael Grant
that we speak of. Notice Christianity took over the birthday of the sun god, the cult of the sun, and transformed it into Christmas Day, the birthday of Yeshua, or Yeshua, the Messiah. It was in reality the birthday of the pagan sun god worshipped by millions throughout the Roman Empire. We can read more about this novel and profound plot to turn paganism into Christianity in a book by historian Jack Finnegan, Myth and Mystery, an introduction to the pagan religions of the biblical world, in which Finnegan writes, "But the worship of the sun god continued widely throughout the empire, and under Aurelian, AD 270 to 275, the cult was restored to its former high estate. In the year 274, Aurelian declared the god, now called Deus Sol Invictus, the official deity of the Roman Empire, and he built a splendid temple of the sun in Rome, and set the sun's birthday celebration, Naturalis Solis Invicti, or Natalis, if I can say that, the birthday of the invincible
right, because
sun.
now this is the day the sun moves, and we recognize that the light is returning and the sun has not given up for dead.
The date then accepted for the winter solstice. Summoning solar character, the birthday of Mithras. At the time of Constantine, the cult of Deus Sol Invictus was still at its height, and the portrait of the sun god was on the coins of Constantine. Likewise, it must have been in this time with the intent to transform the significance of an existing sacred date, that the birthday of Jesus, the Messiah, which had been celebrated in the East on January 6, as somebody rightly pointed out earlier, was placed...
Coin.
Yes.
They've put the sun god on a gold disc.
Well, there's a surprise.
Okay.
I wonder why you would do such a thing as that.
Sorry.
Was placed on Rome on December 25th, the date of the birthday of the celebration of Sol Invictus. This date appears in the list of dates probably compiled in AD 336 and published in the Roman city calendar, and we could recommend a book by
Marion Pierce.
Marion Pierce, thank you for that. Marion Pierce, who
Was on our podcast not too
was
long
on
ago.
our podcast about a year ago, actually enough, talking about the Roman calendar.
Okay.
Anyway, so for the year 351, Finnegan, on pages 211 to 212, emphasises, are we beginning to get the picture? This was in the 4th century after the Messiah, 400 years, bear in mind, or 300 years plus. Excuse me, is that yours?
Yeah, I'll give you a fresh. I've got a fresh one right
Thank
here.
you so much. My nose is just... the heater just went off, and of course now my nose has started to run. The joy of being plus 60.
I know.
All right, so the date of the birthday celebration of Sol Invictus. This date appears in a list of dates probably compiled in AD 336 and published in the Roman city calendar, as we said. So we're beginning to get the picture. The 4th century after the birth of the Messiah. At this time, the church moved to incorporate the birthday of the sun god into the so-called Christian calendar and converted his birthday into the birthday of the Messiah himself. That at which was distinctly and definitely now pagan was now baptized, and by some act of magic was transformed into something Christian. At least to the observer, it appeared to be Christian, and it was now called Christian. But in truth, it still had a pagan heart and core. So let's talk about the influence of Constantine. When Constantine became Emperor of Rome, he nominally at least became Christian. But being the head of a far-flung political empire, he was concerned about the unity and coherence and stability of his empire, and as a sagacious politician, he sought to reconcile and blend and mesh pagan practices with Christian beliefs to merge paganism with the Roman Church. Constantine promulgated the Edict of Toleration in AD 313. These things are real. He became emperor in AD 323, and then Christianity was enthroned. Jesse Lyman Hurlbut in the Story of the Christian Church on page 74. From this time for the next 200 years, all persecutions of Christians of the Roman Church and its adherents ceased. The sword of persecution was not merely sheathed, it was buried. There's a thought for you. But Jesse Hurlbut laments the results of Constantine's making Christianity the state religion, free from all persecution. From that time, he points out, the church became totally subverted by politics and self-seeking opportunists. No change there then. The establishment of Christianity as the state religion became a curse. Everybody sought membership of the church, and nearly everybody was received, both good and bad. Sincere seekers after God and hypocritical seekers after gain rushed into communion. Ambitious, worldly, unscrupulous men sought office in the church for social and political influence.
Don't say.
No change there then. Okay. The services of worship increased in splendour, but were less spiritual and hearty than those of the former times. The forms and ceremonies of paganism gradually crept into worship.
Because the sun will rise, just like the god sun will rise.
Some of the old heathen feasts became church festivals within the change of name and worship.
Well, we have to have Groundhog Day.
Well,
Or St. Bridget's Day.
so how did it happen? Well, obviously something strange and weird was going on, don't you know? So Will Durant, who is a renowned historian in his massive work, The Story of Civilization,
Volume 3.
which runs into a number of hefty tomes, wrote in Volume 3, entitled Caesar and Christ, that in the new church that developed in the Roman Empire, the Jewishness of Yeshua was lost or rejected and replaced with Greek philosophy and thought. The law of the Jews was rejected, and he writes, the God Christ was assimilated to the religious and philosophical traditions of the Hellenistic mind. Now, the pagan world, even the anti-Semitic world, could accept him as its own. Christianity did not destroy paganism, it merely adopted it. In the Greek mind, dying came to a transmigrated life in the theology and liturgy of the church. Excuse me. The Greek mysteries passed down into the impressive mystery of the Mass. Other pagan cultures contributed to its syncretic result. From Egypt came the idea of a divine trinity. From Egypt the adoration of the mother and the child. From Phrygia came the worship of the Great Mother. The Mithraic ritual so closely resembled the Eucharistic sacrifice of the Mass that Christian fathers charged the devil with inventing these similarities to mislead frail minds. Christianity was the last great creation of the ancient pagan world, and that's from page 599 in that book that we read, The Story of Civilization. These historical observations ought to make us sit up and take notice that Christianity that we see around us in the world today is but a spin-off of this ancient syncretism or blending and merging of paganism into a professed church of Yeshua, the Messiah, which had lapsed into political apostasy, profligacy and impurity. The descendants of the one chaste and pure virgin of the Messiah, the New Testament church,
The September birth.
had seemingly become, for all intents and purposes, the religious whore of Babylon, a bejewelled and bedecked and bedeviled slut and trollop, a shady lady, a spiritual prostitute, if you will.
Oh my gosh.
Paganism was not defeated by the church. You can see why your bloke ran out at this point.
Oh yeah,
screaming.
no, he was freaked.
Paganism was not defeated by the church. It invaded the church, infiltrated it, and seduced it from within. The professing Christian church became the new face of paganism. Only the names were changed to protect the guilty, I think you'll find. And in some cases, as in Easter Sunday, even the old pagan names were left in place. Easter, Astara.
Estrogen.
H.G. Wells, you've heard of him, in his Outline of History, discusses the transformations of the teaching of the Messiah into the pagan worship of the heathen, calling itself Christian. He notes, the observance of the Jewish Sabbath, again transferred to the Mithraic sun day, that's S-U-N, as in Sunday, which is in our calendar, is an important feature of many Christian cults. He, Jesus that is, did not say a word about the worship of his mother Mary in the guise of Isis, the Queen of Heaven. Much that is most characteristically Christian, so-called, in worship and usage, he ignored. Skeptical writers, did you want to?
I just want to say something.
Go for it.
I want us to think back about the astrology that I talked about today, saying that the galactic center is the pinpoint of the new moon in Sagittarius, which hangs on the Milky Way where the throne of Isis sits, Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia, the breasts of heaven. We
are at not just the turning of the wheel for this solstice. We have this new moon at the galactic center with the alchemy of Mars and Venus.
I love it. I love what Anna wrote. She said, I read every one of those damn books in the 80s, Anton.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Anna, but it's necessary if you're going to educate yourself.
Okay.
All right. So, skeptical writers have had the temerity to deny that Jesus can be called a Christian at all, which is actually, of course, in page 445 of that same book. Anyway, how did it happen? How did it happen? How did Mithraism, with its December 25th worship and Sunday worship, contribute these prominent holidays to the established Christian church? How did paganism overtake, overcome and subdue the original teachings of the Church of Yeshua, the Messiah, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, which I'm Yeshua? Sorry.
But just call him the Messiah, that's
okay. Fine. And his apostles, and replace biblical holy days with pagan holy days. Should all true Christians be concerned about this historic truth?
This is where I lost the guy.
Oh dear. This reality? Does it really matter?
You need one page?
I need 12. I need 12. All right. What should these facts mean to us today who seek to obey Jehovah God and follow the Messiah of the Bible, who seek to be true followers of the word Jehovah God or Jehovah? The seduction of the church.
Ooh.
So, amidst the World Book Encyclopedia, the exact date of Christ's birth is not known. The early Christians did not celebrate his birth because they considered the celebration of anyone's birth to be a pagan custom, something which I think is still followed on by Jehovah's Witnesses to this very day.
Yeah.
One does not celebrate birthdays, which is kind of strange.
It's a pagan celebration.
Pagan, see, birthday, being born, your solar return.
Your solar return.
Your solar return.
All right. The first mention of the observance of Christ's birthday appears about AD 200.
Yeah. And for many years, several dates were used. And December 25th was first mentioned in 336 article Christmas. The Common Reference work acknowledges for many years people observed Christmas as a religious festival only, but they gradually adopted more and more customs unrelated to the church. Most of the customs originated in cultures that existed before Christianity. For example, in 1643, the Puritans, who regarded such celebrations as pagan, remember them? They're the people who came over on the Mayflower.
Kill the witches, we want their property.
Outlawed the observance of Christmas in England. Colonists in New England followed the English laws and also outlawed Christmas. But immigrants to the New World brought Christmas customs from many lands, and the old festivities were soon restored. All of the popular customs and traditions surrounding Christmas actually were celebrated at pagan midwinter festivals
Oh.
many thousands of years before the pagan Messiah was born. Before the Messiah, not the pagan Messiah. The Messiah was born.
Yeah.
Admits this same encyclopedia, the custom of burning the Yule log began with the ancient Scandinavians, well, that's Yule, who once a year burned a huge log in honour of their god Thor. After the Scandinavians became Christians, so to speak, not all of them are, I have to add, they made the Yule log an important part of their Christmas celebration.
Well, we got to get converts, man.
Yeah, we do celebrate Yuletide, do we not?
Yeah, well, I like to call it wintertide.
So what about the Christmas tree? Haha, where did that from? Oh, Tannenbaum.
What does this big furry tree that stays green have to do with Jesus?
Good question. Didn't have a lot of pines, if I recall, in the Middle East either. Cyprus maybe, but pines no. And Anna, thank you so much for the super chat. We've still got 6 more to go, guys, if you can manage it.
We're going to be here a while, because we're only on page 12 of 30.
Yeah, anyway. So, one of the most pervasive customs of Christmas today is the bringing home and decorating of a Christmas tree. In fact, some people still only do it on Christmas Eve. Don't know why, but whatever. We stick ours up for our tree for a long time. Yeah. We love it.
We turn the lights white by in bulk.
Yeah, we make it the in bulk tree and all that kind of stuff.
After the
coming back of the light,
New Year, Hengallen, then we turn it white until. Anyway.
So where did this custom come from?
The Christmas tree.
Coffin, in the book Christmas Folklore, tells us, unfortunate name for a guy, Coffin, but there you go. Most people have heard that the Christmas tree originates in the Tannenbaum, which in some part, some sort of vestige of Teutonic vegetation worship. This is partially true. However, the custom of using pine and other evergreens ceremonially was well established at the Roman Saturnalia, even earlier in Egypt. There's a guy called Alexander Hislop, in his book The Two Babylons, wrote, the Christmas tree, now so common among us, was equally common in pagan Rome and pagan Egypt. In Egypt, that tree was the palm tree.
Palm Sunday?
Palm tree.
Sunday?
In Rome, it was a fir, because obviously Italy did have firs. The palm tree denoting the pagan Messiah as Baal Tamar, the fir referring to him as Baal Berith, the mother of Adonis, the sun god and great mediatorial divinity.
He's
Adonis,
gorgeous.
He's Greek.
Adonis.
Well, he's a kind of good-looking guy.
Anyway.
Mother Adonis, the sun god, and great mediatorial or mediatorial divinity, was mystically said to be changed into a tree, and when in that state to have brought forth her divine son. If the mother was a tree, the son must have been recognized as the man of the branch. This entirely accounts for the putting of the Yule log into the fire on Christmas Eve and the appearance of the Christmas tree the next morning. Some customs do that.
Trees and gods, I don't know.
Tree worship was very common among the ancients, says festivals, holy days and saints' days. The Christmas tree recapitulates the idea of the tree worship. Gilded nuts and balls. Got that, Sean? Gilded nuts and balls, mate. Symbolising the sun. All the festivities of the heathen winter solstice have been absorbed into Christmas Day. The use of holly and mistletoe to the druidic ceremonies, the Christmas tree to the honours paid to Odin's sacred fir. Collins goes on to write in Christmas Folklore, the idea of decorating homes on holidays is both worldwide and age-old. So is the Saturnalian laurel, the Teutonic holly, the Celtic mistletoe, and the Mexican poinsettia have all attached themselves to this polyglot ceremony, which means embracing many languages. So there you go. What's that? Goal ends 16 minutes. That if you knew and won a tarot card. So yuck. Well, if you could throw us a super chat, that would be fantastic. If you could just manage that. There's only 6 more to go. If you'd like a tarot card,
I don't know. A lot of
throw it
people
in
have
there.
already.
I know. Some people have. All right, so where are we?
Right here. Many of the plants
used at Christmas are symbols of fertility.
Fertility?
Fertility, certainly any evergreen, fir, yew, laurel, etc., with its ability to return verdure in the barren months is appropriate. But by far the most interesting are the holly, the ivy and the mistletoe. Holly, with its prickling leaves, white flowers and red berries, symbolises the male reproductive urge. In fact, in English carols, holly is the male and the ivy is the female. Ha ha! This use of the plants was most likely borrowed by the Christians.
Well, mistletoe is the nameless day, the day of Yule.
It was most likely borrowed by the Christians along with other customs of Roman Saturnalia. Ivy, holly's mate, in ancient Grecian rites took its name from the girl who danced with such abandon and joy before Dionysus that she fell dead at his feet. The pagan god, moved by her dance, turned her into the ivy that she might entwine whatever is near. Dionysus, of course, was the Greek version of the god of wine and revelry, another form of Bacchus, Tammuz, or Nimrod, if you will. Mistletoe, since the earliest of times, has been regarded as mysterious and sacred, the symbol of the sun, bestower of life, an aphrodisiac, careful with that because it's also poisonous, and protector against disease and poison. The plant was especially sacred to the Celtic Druids who offered it in prayer to the gods. The mistletoe was referred to by pagans as the
Golden Bough.
The two great holidays when the pagans gathered mistletoe were Midsummer Day, the summer solstice, and December 25th, the winter solstice. It was supposed to possess the power of revealing treasures in the earth and was formed into a divining rod. Interesting. And as an emanation of the sun's fire. Kissing under the mistletoe is a survival of the Saturnalian sexual licentiousness and bawdy immoral behaviour, which was indeed commonplace during Saturnalia, the time of the Lord
But
of
what about
Misrule.
Satan? I mean, Santa.
But what about dear old Santa Claus? I love learning about this stuff. Sinterklaas. I love
Carol says, I love learning about all this stuff.
Post-biohazard experience. Okay. Even Santa Claus has not such benign origin. This fat and jolly elf can be traced back to another ancient pagan Norse legend, admits the workbook encyclopedia. Even some of Santa Claus's characteristics date back many centuries. For example, the belief that Santa enters the house through the chimney developed from an old Norse legend. The Norse believed that the goddess Hertha appeared in the fireplace and brought good luck to the home. Although most people assume the original Santa Claus was a bishop by the name of St. Nicholas of Asia Minor of the 4th century, this isn't actually true. Although some of this bishop's deeds later came to be associated with St. Nick, the original Nicholas was once again named Nimrod, the mighty one against the Lord. The word Nicholas means mighty one, powerful. Traditions of a god who gave gifts under an evergreen tree antecede the Asian Minor bishop by thousands of years. Among the Scandinavians, it was the god Odin or Woden who left special gifts during the Yuletide season under the evergreen tree, his sacred tree. Tony van Rentergem, and that's Dutch, so apologies, Joff. Rentergem? I don't know. Rentergem, perhaps. Writes in when Santa was a shaman.
I love it.
You've read that book?
Yes.
The ancient origins of Santa Claus and the Christmas tree. In newly Christianized areas where the pagan Celtic and Germanic cults remained strong, legend of the god Woden were blended with those of various Christian saints. St. Nicholas was one of those. There were Christian areas where St. Nicholas ruled alone. In other locations, he was assisted by the pagan...
Assisted.
I'm so sorry. Assisted by the pagan dark helper, the slave he had inherited from the pagan god Woden. Krampus, anyone?
Mm.
In other remote areas, ancient pockets of the old religion controlled traditions. Here the Dark Helper ruled alone, sometimes in a most confusing manner, using the cover name of St. Nicholas or Klaus, without in any way changing his threatening Hern-Pan fur-clad appearance. This was the figure later used by the artist Nast as for the model for the early American Santa Claus. Interesting. The Catholic St. Nicholas also had a confusing past, says Van Rentgen. He was a compilation of two separate saints, one from Myra in Asia Minor, the other from Menorah, both of whom were, as the Church nowadays admits, nothing more than Christianized water deities, possibly related to the Greco-Roman god Poseidon or Neptune. In the
1970s.
That's the 1970s. The Second Vatican Council formally stated that no Roman Catholic bishop by the name of Nicholas had ever existed. Vatican II further confessed that the legends attributed to this saint had no Christian origin and probably came from pagan traditions.
We want our books back.
Shock horror. Yeah, I'd like our books back too. Says Van Rentgen further, by absorbing such pagan feasts and traditions, the Christian Church could subtly bring in its own theology. In this case, establishing the good St. Nicholas, bringer of love and gifts, while grudgingly allowing the presence of the old religions, Hern or Pan, but only as a slave to St. Nicholas. Thus, in parts of Europe, the Church turned Hern into St. Nicholas's captive chained dark helper, none other than Satan, the Dark One, symbolic of all evil.
Oh, of course.
Although we should point out that Satan is in fact Lucifer, God's fallen angel, the bringer of light, and is also Uriel, okay, and is also strongly connected with the return of the sun. Anyway, moving along.
The East, the Ostara, he has risen.
In Holland and several other European countries, the St. Nicholas figure is still highly esteemed. He appears as a tall, dignified, bearded, white-haired old man dressed as a Catholic priest, complete with cloak, mitre and pastoral staff.
Oh, Coca-Cola ad, anyone?
A seemingly genuine Catholic saint, but with a bizarre, quite unsaintly habit of riding through the skies on a white horse followed by his dark helper. It seems our Catholic saint inherited some of these customs from the pagan god Woden, who had also been dressed as a bearded, white-haired old man, also dressed in a hat and cloak, carried a staff or spear, rode a white horse and dragged along the same dark slave helper on a chain. So much for the old Santa Claus. This mythological feature is also completely pagan to the core. The Dutch Sinterklaas brings gifts to good children, while bad children are harassed by the dark helper called Zwart Pierre or Black Pete, who brandishes a broom-like rod. Like Santa Claus, Sinterklaas has the habit of entering homes through the chimney. His helper, Black Pete, is today still horned, fur-clad, scary, and less than kind to children. Although portrayed as the slave helper of St. Nicholas, the two are in many villages blended together into one character, who also has the name Nicolaas or Klaus. Thus Santa Claus is blended with and is none other than that, the old enemy of mankind, Satan.
Santa and Satan are spelled with the same letters.
Is that right? We're on the right page? In Germany, St. Nicholas's dark helper is a swarthy, horned, frightening little man, also brandishing the besom, or broom, and he is known by many names. Knecht Rupert, servant Rupert, or in Bavaria, Pelznickel, meaning fur-clad Nick. In Tyrol, the picture is even clearer. The dark helper is there called Klaubau, a scarier version of the British Hern the Hunter, a chained, furry, black-faced, horned creature. So who was this Odin or Woden, the original Santa Claus? He was the chief god of Norse mythology, a fierce fighter who carried a spear as his special weapon. He was renowned as a mighty hunter and for his magical powers. This same author declares further on the connection between Odin, Woden and Saint Nicholas. Woden, Odin, man's friend, and the mysterious Schimmel rider, dragging his dark and devilish slave Eckhart along on a chain, he rides through the stormy skies. He leads the wild hunt, eluding and finally subjugating the powers of evil. He also wears a broad-brimmed hat, a wide mantle, holds his spear and rides through the skies. Replace his hat with the bishop's mitre and the spear with a crozier, which is the bishop's staff, and we have the Dutch St. Nicholas.
This might predate Christmas.
Just a hair.
Okay.
Just a hair. In other words, Odin was another name for Nimrod, who the Bible says was the mighty hunter before, the Hebrew word for before also means against, the Lord. And that appears in Genesis 10:9 if you want to go back that far. Nimrod's reputation as a mighty hunter was widespread. And it's interesting, the RAF had a seaplane that used to hunt submarines called the Nimrod. So there you go. Anyway, says Alexander Hyssop, the Woden of Odin of Scandinavia can be proved to be the Adon of Babylon. The two Babylons, page 133 and 134, Nimrod, Adon or Adonis of Babylon.
Adonis.
Adonis.
Tomato, potato.
Whatever. I get it wrong all the while. Just blame me. Kick me. Sorry, I'm so wrong. Anyway, moving on now. We have 1 minute 26 seconds left to get some super chats. Throw one in there just for giggles, people, please. That would be lovely. So where are we? Was the great war god. Odin was the same. Nimrod, in the character of Bacchus, was the god of wine. Odin was said to partake of no other food but wine. Sounds like a plan to me.
Hearty wine.
Gonna make life a little more blurry, but who knows?
We're gonna come back around in a bit to this Christmas thing. So
we are. It's all connected, I promise. The name of one of Odin's sons, Balder, indicates the meaning of Odin's own name. Balder is a form of Chaldee Balzir, the seed of Baal. The Hebrew Z or Z in the later Chaldee frequently became a D. Baal and Adon both signify Lord. Since Balder is the son of Baal as well as son of Adon or Odin, then Baal, Adon and Odin must therefore be the same person. Representative of Nimrod, the first human to be deified and proclaimed by pagans as a god after the deluge. More on the rain later. Moving on, Santa Claus then is not so innocent and cherubic a figure after all. So why do parents take their young children to sit them on Santa's lap?
Because Christ is going to give you presents.
And insist on teaching them Santa Claus myths. The word Santa, rearranged, spells Satan, and Claus is reminiscent to claws. In other words, Satan's claws. Do you want Satan, the arch enemy of mankind, to get his claws into your children? By teaching them Santa Claus myths and taking them to Christmas parties with Santa Claus handing out gifts, you're subtly teaching your children to worship Satan, the devil, the great imposter.
Oh my word.
Are you? I don't think so.
But back to the true origin.
So the true origin of Christmas, right. It is indeed strange that a day never mentioned or sanctioned in the Bible should become the chief so-called Christian holiday of the entire year. Put Christ back into Christmas. Or Christ, the reason for the season.
Axial tilt.
Axial tilt, but never mind. A day never celebrated by Yesaya the Messiah or his apostles, or even in the early New Testament ecclesia of Jehovah God. What is the actual origin of the celebration of December 25th? Well, a careful look at the word Christmas itself ought to tell us something. Notice it's an amalgam, a mixture. Though it includes the name Christ, it also mentions Mass. So where did the Mass, with its rituals, elaborate ceremony, pagan prayers for the dead, transubstantiation rites, etc., come from?
Say that again. With its elaborate
ceremony, pagan prayers for the dead,
pagan prayers to rise again,
substantiation rites, etc., come from? Where did it come from? Well, Alexander Hislop, in his remarkable book, The Two Babylons, points out that the Mass is something that definitely goes back to ancient pagan customs and rites. He declares in plain and clear language. Therefore, we find the women of Judah represented as simply burning incense, pouring out drink offering, and offering cakes to the Queen of Heaven, which is Jeremiah 44:19. The cakes were the unbloody sacrifice she required. Yes. Nor do I demand sacrifice, for my love is poured out on all living. Yes, in the 4th century, when the Queen of Heaven, under the name of Mary,
took over
Mother,
from the Mari,
was beginning to be worshipped in the Christian church, this unbloody sacrifice was also brought in. Epiphanes states that the practice of offering and eating it became among women of Arabia, and at that time it was well known to have been adopted from the pagans. The very shape of the unbloody sacrifice of Rome may indicate where it came, or from whence it came. It's a small, thin, round wafer.
The blood in the body.
And on its roundness, the Church of Rome lays so much stress. The importance, however, which Rome attaches to the roundness of the wafer must have a reason. And that reason will be found if we look at the altars of Egypt. The thin, round cake, says Wilkinson, occurs on all altars. Almost every jot or title in the Egyptian worship had a mythical meaning. The round disc, so frequent in sacred emblems of Egypt, simply symbolized the sun.
Okay, a round disc.
The sun! You'll find that in the Two Babylons, pages 159 to 160. The sun god in ancient Egypt was known as Osiris. The round disc of the Egyptian Mass symbolized the sun, and was an offering symbolizing the sun god. He was considered the life and nourishment of the souls of men.
The life and nourishment of the souls of men.
I have to just put in a little digression here, and then I promise we'll come back to our main work. Hot cross buns.
A circle with the cross.
A circle with a cross. What do we suppose that cross means? More on that later, perhaps. So, the Christ Mass, therefore, is nothing more than the celebration of the birth of the sun god himself, the false Messiah, the false Saviour of the world. And the Mass itself also represents the offering of cakes made to the Queen of Heaven, the mother of the pagan Saviour, the unbloody sacrifice.
My goddess gave birth to your god.
Would it be like leaving out milk and cookies for Santa here?
Round cookies.
Round cookies, interesting. Again, Christmas is proven to be pagan to its core. It is a fact that December 25th was celebrated for thousands of years before the birth of the Messiah as the birthday of the ancient pagan god, the sun god. Alexander Hislop points out the truth in these shocking words, at least they ought to be shocking to anybody with a clear, undefiled and conscious mind. Do you think this person's really Christian who wrote this? I don't know. Indeed, it is admitted by the most learned and candid writers of all parties that the day of our Lord's birth cannot be determined, and that within the Christian church no such festival as Christmas was ever heard of till the 3rd century, and that not till the 4th century was far and advanced did it gain much observance. How then did the Romanish church fix on December the 25th as Christmas Day? Why, thus, long before the 4th century and long before the Christian era itself, a festival was celebrated among the heathen. At that precise time of year, and in honour of the birth of the son of the Babylonian Queen of Heaven, it may be fairly presumed that in order to consolidate the heathen and to swell the number of the nominal adherents of Christianity, the same festival was adopted by the Roman Church.
Again, I'm going to say to you that this new moon is happening at that galactic center where the throne of the goddess brings in the energy of the Milky Way. We are at a very interesting pivotal time astronomically.
Astronomical. I got lots of comments to read later. Yeah, absolutely. And understand that the Roman Church is also known as the Roman Catholic Church. And Catholic simply means all-encompassing. Literally, they would assimilate everything like the Borg, which is basically what they did here.
We got 10 pages to go, people.
This is what they did here. So, yeah, to swell the number of nominal adherents to Christianity, the same festival was adopted by the Roman Church, giving it only the name of Christ. This tendency on the part of Christians to meet paganism halfway was very early developed. Upright men strove to stem the tide, but in spite of all their efforts, the apostasy went on till the church, with the exception of a small remnant, was submerged under pagan superstition.
Oh.
Shame. I got nothing against paganism. Believe me. Hislop goes on. That Christmas was originally a pagan festival is beyond all doubt. The time of year and the ceremonies with which it is still celebrated prove its origin. In Egypt, the son of Isis, the very Egyptian title for the Queen of Heaven, was born at this very time, about the time of the winter solstice. The very name by which proves at once its pagan and Babylonian origin. Yule is the Chaldean name for an infant or little child, as in the 25th of December was called by our pagan, Anglo and Saxon ancestors Yule Day or the Child's Day,
the birth
and the
of the
night
child of promise
that preceded it, Mother Night.
Right? So Christmas Eve is Mother's Night, and Christmas Day is the solstice celebration of the sun.
And this was long, long before it came into contact with Christianity. Christianity wasn't even an idea yet. All right. So anyway, that sufficiently proves its real character. December 25th was observed far and wide among the ancient world, this day being the birthday of the unconquered sun. The Yule log represented the dead stock of the slain Nimrod, arch-apostate rebel against the Lord after the flood. Look at Genesis 10:8-10. And the Christmas tree was supposedly Nimrod reborn, the slain god come to life again. In Europe, Saxons offered a boar in sacrifice to the sun to propagate or propitiate the Queen of Heaven on. How do you say that? Propitiate?
Where are you?
Here. Propitiate the Queen. It's not a word I'm familiar with. Educate me, somebody.
In Europe, the Saxons offered a boar in sacrifice to the sun to
propitiate the Queen of Heaven on Christmas Day. Okay. The boar in pagan mythology was supposed to have slain the false pagan Messiah. The boar was also a major article in the Feast of Saturn at Rome. And the boar's head is still a standing dish in England, and at Christmas dinner, says Hislop, there can be no doubt that the pagan festival at the winter solstice, in other words, Christmas,
a lot of pubs named the Boar's Head,
was held in honour of the birth of Babylonian Messiah. Yes, because in winter in Wales we call the winter solstice Alban Arthur,
the height of the bear.
Yeah, and Alban Heaven,
the height of the boar.
Also the height of the boar. So the boar is strongly associated with heaven or summerland.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. Christmas was held in honour of the birth of the Babylonian Messiah. The largest pagan religious cult which fostered sun worship in the Greek and Roman worlds on December 25th was the cult of Mithraism. They called it the Nativity of the Sun.
What?
Mithras, the sun god, was supposed to have been born at this time, but so were Osiris, Horus, Tammuz, Hercules, Bacchus, Adonis, Jupiter, and all the pagan messiahs. The fact alone would seem to indicate that all these pagan sun gods and deities trace their roots back to the original sun god of ancient Babylon, Nimrod.
I will point out that Jupiter is in mutual reception with this new moon, and Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer, the mother, at Friday's new moon.
What a very appropriate time to be reading this.
You don't say. Do you think somebody plans this?
Holy shit, is that where Vonnegut got that? I think so. Anyway, moving on. This popular winter festival became such an established custom that in pagan Rome and Greece, Egypt, and throughout Europe, the period of the winter solstice was a time of great revelry and festivity. In Rome, it became known as Saturnalia, in honour of the god Saturn, the hidden one. Saturn was another name for Nimrod, who, late in his apostasy, went into hiding from Shem, the son of Noah.
Lori, look the word up.
Win or regain the favour of God's spirit or person.
That's
Propagate.
what
Thank you for looking that up. Thank you.
Propitate.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I love to learn.
That's cool.
Okay. All right. Where are we? Great revelry and festival. In Rome, it became known as Saturnalia, in honour of the god Saturn, the hidden one. Saturn was another name for Nimrod, who in the late apostasy went into hiding from Shem, the son of Noah. The feast of Saturn, Hislop adds, lasted 5 days. Loose reins were given to drunkenness and revelry.
This is the Saturnalia link, yeah?
Slaves had a temporary emancipation and used all manner of freedoms with their masters. This was precisely the way in which, according to Barosius,
the drunken festival
festivus of the month Thebeth, according to our December, in other words, the festival of Bacchus, was celebrated in Babylon. So writes T.G. Grippen in Christmas and Christmas Lore. Crippen. Sorry.
Christmas Lore.
In Christmas Lore. Christmas and Christmas Lore. Now, in December and the beginning of January, there were several festivals which were intimately associated with the daily life of Roman people. First, from the 17th to the 21st December was Saturnalia, the great Roman holiday. One might call it the Feast of Topsy-Turvydom, where slaves were allowed for a few days to enjoy the semblance of freedom, were waited upon by their masters and chose amongst themselves a mock king to preside over their revels. That would have been the Lord of Misrule. Next, on the 22nd, came Sigillaria, the Feast of Dolls, where a fair was held and dolls and other toys, mostly of earthenware, were given to children. Then on the 25th came Brumalia, otherwise Dies Natalis Invictus Solis,
the day for Sol Invictus,
the birthday of the unconquered sun.
These are all Roman
When
festivities.
the days began to lengthen after the solstice, it was believed to have been instituted by the Emperor Aurelian in honour of Mithras, the Persian sun god.
So these festivals all are born of amalgamating customs of the people that they conquered, by the way.
Indeed. So, clearly, the pagan customs of Christmas had nothing remotely to do with the Messiah or the word of Jehovah the God of Scriptures. Clearly, they had nothing to offer the Church of Jehovah God, as they were the very antithesis of true Christianity. Yet somehow, this ancient pagan festival wormed its way into the established Christian Church and became its most prominent holiday of the year. What a monstrous mystery! The Catholic Church took the excitement which surrounded the Roman Saturnalia with its excesses, delights, debauchery and wantonness, and called them the celebration of the birth of the Son of Jehovah God, Yeshua. Most people today still think of December 25th as the birthday of Yeshua, even though this is definitely not the case, nor is it even referred to in the Bible.
Christmas time is pagan.
Yes. The pagan bash was transformed by the Catholic Church into the festivities of Christmas in honour of the Madonna and Child. Thus, the pagan Semiramis, which is the Egyptian Isis, and Tammuz, Horus, were transformed by sleight of hand.
All right. In Catholicism, Christmas Eve is the Feast of the Fishes.
The fishes.
Where do the fish come from? The sea. Ma, mer, mother. So even to this day, they are honoring the goddess and the gifts that are birthed from the goddess on Mother's Night.
Propitiate. Yeah, I can do propitiate. I can say that word. But thank you for sounding it out for me.
Okay.
Okay, so to win the favour of a god. Anyway, or to win back the favour of a god. So, by sleight of hand, but the magicians of the Roman Church turned Isis and Horus into Mary and Yeshua. And in this manner, the pagan practices of past centuries became outwardly Christian in name and character. For almost 300 years after the time of Yeshua, the church showed no concern for the date of the Messiah's birth. The apostles and leaders of the New Testament church never bothered to find out when Yeshua was born, as the date wasn't actually important to them. It was not until the 4th century...
They couldn't really prove it, so...
Yeah. Why bother? Nothing to do with us. Pagan festival. It was not until the 4th century that the Christmas began to be observed by the Roman Catholic Church, says the Encyclopedia Americana. Christmas, it was, according to many authorities, not celebrated in the first centuries of the Christian Church, as the Christian usage in general was to celebrate the death of a remarkable person rather than their birth. A feast was established in memory of the birth of the Saviour in the 4th century, and in the 5th century the Western Church ordered it to be observed forever on the day of the old Roman feast of the birth of Sol. And that is how an ancient pagan custom became engrafted upon the unsuspecting Christian world. But should true followers of Yeshua the Messiah participate?
Yeshua?
Or
Jesus.
Yeshua?
Just call him...
Jesus!
Insert the word Jesus there so
Jesus!
don't tangle your tongue up.
Jesus H. Yeah, the Messiah precipitate in ancient pagan customs. Should true Christians celebrate Christmas? Well, are you Christian?
Christmas time is pagan.
The Puritans, who were Christians attempting to reform the church during the 1600s, did not believe Christmas should be observed. Oh well. The baptism of pagan rites and festivals by the Roman Catholic and vast majority of Protestant churches was totally rejected by the Puritans. I read a great book by George Bernard Shaw called The Devil's Disciple. I'd strongly recommend it. I would strongly recommend it. One of them, William Pine, during the time of King Charles I. Now, he was an interesting
Bonnie
fella.
King Charles.
Oh, he loved witches. Wrote, "Our Christmas lords of misrule, together with dancing, masks, mummeries, stage players, and other such Christmas disorders now in use with Christians, were derived from these Roman Saturnalian and Bacchanalian festivals, which should cause all pious Christians eternally to abominate them." It's in the Book of Christmas Folklore, page 8. Anyway, excuse me, my nose is just... If you want to continue a second while I just
All right.
unblock
Because
my
of his
snozzle.
attitude towards Christmas and pagan rituals still observed by the professing Christian church,
I'm so sorry.
William Prine was placed in a pillory and his ears were cut off.
Wasn't that nice? How
Should
kind.
Christians observe Christmas? Should Christians today celebrate this ancient festival? Many today may think that it's all right, but the opinions of men are not our standard or authority. What does the word of Jesus, God itself, say about this? It's very serious. It is all right in the sight of Jesus for men to take pagan customs and traditions and observe them, calling them Christian. It is all right to merge and combine pagan practices with the truth of Jesus?
Is it? It's a question. Is it all right?
Is it all right?
Is it all right? Well, according to the prophet Malachi, Jehovah does not change. His laws and commandments are eternal. How nice. Doesn't matter if you're wrong, we're not going to change it. Does Jehovah say it's all right to observe the traditions and customs of pagans? Jehovah God commanded ancient Israel, "I am the Lord your God. You must not do as they do in Egypt, where you used to live, and you must do as they do in the land of Canaan, where I am bringing you to. Do not follow their practices. You must obey my laws and be careful to follow my decrees." That's Leviticus. That's not a
That's
good book.
quite a book, Leviticus.
That's also the bit where it's
She
just,
said,
you
when
know,
in Rome, do as the Romans do.
if
Well,
the smell of your neighbour's burning offering offends you, you can stone him to death. Nice, good book,
okay,
Leviticus.
anyhow, go ahead.
Anyway, moving on. Jehovah tells us he hates idolatry. He detests it with a vehement passion, and tells us be careful not to be ensnared by inquiring about their gods, saying, how do these nations serve their gods? We will do the same. You must not worship the Lord your God in their way, because in worshipping their gods they do all kinds of detestable things the Lord hates. Deuteronomy, also
Another
lovely book.
interesting chapter.
Anyway, because of pagan idolatrous practices, Jehovah God cast the Canaanites out of the promised land. Oh dear. They were worshippers of Baal or Nimrod, Tammuz the sun god, the pagan messiah, the god of wine and revelry. They worshipped the evergreen tree and used it as symbol of their god. They observed December 25th in the worship of the waning sun and their sun god divinity. This whole religious system, excuse me, sorry,
God,
make my tongue work, stemmed from ancient Babylon, the fount of all heresy and apostasy. Oh, I love this person. They're not opinionated at all. I would love to have an intellectual communication with them, if they're capable of it. Their sensuality and gross lasciviousness, and particularly displayed during midwinter festival called Saturnalia in Rome, with gift-giving drunkenness, sexual licentiousness. Jehovah says of such bacchanal rites, do not defile yourself in any of these ways, because this is how the nations that I'm going to drive out before you became defiled. Even the land was defiled, so I punished it for its sin, and the land vomited out its inhabitants. Anyone who does any of these detestable things, such persons must be cut off from their people. Keep my requirements. Do not follow any of the detestable customs that were practiced before you came, and do not defile yourselves with them. I am the Lord your God. Leviticus 18:24. Good book, should read it well. Even such idolatrous terms as Christmas tree are condemned in the word of Jehovah God, Jeremiah the prophet. Hear ye the word the Lord has spoken unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord. Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, such as the waning sun at the winter solstice. For the customs of the people are vain, meaning empty, worthless, useless. Are they really? For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and hammers, that it move not.
Nailed to a tree.
They are upright as a palm tree, but speak not. Their needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good.
Jeremiah 10.
Lovely. Truly the whole world has been deceived by Satan the devil. Do you even know who that is, mate? Just saying. And his clever masquerades and machinations.
Revelations 12.
Jehovah God Almighty thunders, wherefore say unto the house of Israel, saith thus the Lord God, are ye polluted after the manner of your fathers, and commit ye whoredom after the manner of their abominations? Ye pollute yourselves with all your idols, even unto this day. But as for you, O house of Israel, saith the Lord God, go ye, serve ye every one of his idols, and hereafter also, if ye not hearken unto me, but pollute ye my holy name no more with your gifts and with your idols.
Ezekiel 20.
The very name Christmas, combining the holy name of Christ with the pagan mass, pollutes and profanes Jehovah's holy name. The celebration of these ancient pagan festivals, calling them Christian, is an abomination in the sight of Jehovah. Jehovah will not accept such pagan superstitious worship. Jesus, whatever,
The Messiah.
said to his disciples, if you hold my teaching, you are really my disciples, then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Didn't they pin that over a work camp in Auschwitz?
Free from the shackles of error,
Superstition, mythology, and pagan deception.
John 8.
Yeah.
Christmas is pagan. There's no doubt about it. The question is,
what are you going to do about it?
May Jesus, the God, help you to make the right decisions so you can inherit eternal life and reign with the saints forever. Revelations 2:5.
Well,
Edited by John.
John D. Kaiser, up your arse,
Hey!
mate. That's all I want to say.
So
Up your chuffing arse.
there you are. That is the workshop portion of Witchy Wednesday for this lovely solstice new moon week. And now I'm going to just really quickly pull cards because we're already over by quite a bit of time.
Oh, who cares? We're having fun. So, Christmas time is pagan.
Christmas time is pagan.
And circle round a pine tree.
La 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 la.
It's
Every
coming
wreath
soon.
on every door.
Yes. Yes.
Link to Mary.
Eat my shorts is all I want to say to you pious Christian types.
All right, I'm shuffling. And I'm just going to go really quickly, guys. So I'm not, he has talked for a long time. I'm going to do the talking now.
You're the one that told me to talk.
Yes, I know. Bravo!
Oh, it should be brava.
Brava, brava.
Brava, brava.
You know, that was I remember that was so much research. But, you know, I myself have the core religion of Christianity. I was raised Methodist.
I was for a time a born again Christian.
But, you know, hey.
I got over it.
You just got to, I think you get to a point you got to find the truth. And you
Ask
never
enough
ever
questions, you will find the
never
truth.
try to separate somebody from what they believe is their truth, but you can certainly give them more things to think about. All right, I'm going to just plow really quickly.
You're going to do this by
Gilda.
yourself? All right.
Gilda,
Nice
you
card.
do have the answers within you. Look a little deeper. Savannah. Savannah, time to take charge. Assert your authority. Mars, responsible Saturn together. Assert your authority. Laura of the North. If you procrastinate, you will
get
receive
nowhere.
procrastination.
Get
Time
nowhere.
to kick the horse.
Spurs to horse, Gil. Get on
Jess. Jess.
with it.
It's
Choices.
really hard to be feeling like you're stuck in the valley of indecision. But until you find out what's really in all those cups, you can't make an educated guess. So again, it's time to dig in and find the truth. Sean. Oh, 2 came out. Move forward and don't listen to the voice inside your head that's trying to deter you. Move forward. Don't listen to the voice inside your head that's trying to deter you. Donna. Ooh. I
Speaking
think
of Saturn earlier,
Santa is going to bring you something really lovely.
gift of light here.
You're only blocked if you think you are. You can remove the chain. Cass. Cass, here's a promise of a happy, happy life.
That was the 10 of Cups we were talking about
Yeah,
earlier.
this is part of this new moon's configuration of a 28 to a 1. All you have to do is stand up to receive it. Kimberly. Kimberly. Looking forward to something really good financially happening. Just plant a seed for the kind of growth that you're looking for, and it can happen.
Yes.
Oh, what does that say?
Mushroom.
I don't know what that says.
I don't know.
It's after Kimberly. I don't know
We
if
could
can
scroll back.
I
I'll
can't tell what I
try.
wrote.
Let me try. God, we got a ton of chats. Let's have a look.
It's after Kimberly showed up. Ways back. Way
Ways
back,
back,
way
ways
back.
Where are you, Kimberly?
Sorry, it's taking time.
Courtney, Jennifer, Helena.
Should be getting close, yeah. Meredith. That's what that
Meredith!
says. That's a D, okay.
Meredith's a channel member. as
Meredith. Ooh. Guard your possessions and don't loan anything that you're not willing to give away. Anything you loan right now may never come back, or it may not come back in the same condition.
It might be busted crap.
Carol, you can do this. You got this. Juggling is your thing. Multitasking. I think you have a ton of obligations, but I think you're going to handle them very well. All right. Helena, I really think if you want to get moving, you can get moving. You just, again, have to make your plan and then execute it. Making your plan and not executing it doesn't get moving.
Get your energies cohesive.
Courtney, time of building. I think you're going to receive great cooperation, right? These are the supernals, ein sof, ein sofer, but they're also that energy of the birth of something. So you're building something. Something's going to happen in a very positive way. Juniper, the wish card. All right. I'm going to say to you, Juniper, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it.
Yeah.
I think you can manifest way more than you believe you can. So I think you need to have a plan so that you'll be able to do everything, because I think a lot of things are going to start happening. Lizette, you're going to build and build. I see you, this is something that you're self-employed at, so you may be starting to build your little jewelry business or something on the side that can make a lot more money than you think. Our Lori, you're going to make it. You're going to keep your head above water. You may be very challenged right now by things and feeling like you just always, every day, are like beating things down, and that's okay. You're going to get where you need to be. Keep your eye on all the tormentors and beat them.
Bat them down.
Yaf. Ooh, Yaf. The world is opening. You can make 2026 be whatever you want it to be. Speak that into being. And Anna. Contracts. Paying attention to the things that you're signing, deals that you're making, and keeping everything legal and above board. And I think that will be your success. All right, card of the week.
Me?
Yeah.
I love the way I get to do that. Doesn't suck though. Ace of Cups.
Ooh.
Very pivotal.
Yep.
Very, very pivotal. And this speaks so much of the galactic center and alignment as well.
We've got the Cassiopeia.
We've got the W for your Cassiopeia. We've got your round disc with your cross on it.
We got the
cross
bun.
Cross bun kind of thing. Form coming into force, or force coming into form.
Yeah.
To bring forth this outpouring of incredible
what's
stuff.
Coming from the galactic center. AI Atlas, 3-eye Atlas, 3-eye Atlas.
Fantastic opportunity here. Do not squander it. Okay, you can sit on your ass and do nothing and watch the world go by.
Sunlight returns.
Or you could get on with it.
All right.
So that's us.
That's our new format.
It probably ain't going to be this long next time.
No, I think 2 hours will be the max.
we probably won't have quite such a long teaching.
And it's Christmas Eve when we see you next.
Oh, yes.
So we'll be at the store. And
we're going to do it from the store?
Well, we have no choice.
You're going to have to bring the camera then.
So we're going to have some fun.
You have to
I might just do it from my desk on my computer. We'll see.
You can do it from your computer.
And you can run the store with Danny, and it'll all be fine.
Oh, you're going to do it. I'm cut out this one. Thanks a whole bunch.
We can take turns. All right. Thank you so much. Witchy Wednesdays, people.
Thank you for all the new viewers who turned up today. That was lovely to see you. Please do consider becoming a channel member. It costs, well, channel member costs, but you could subscribe for nothing. You can hit the notification bell for nothing. We don't suck. We're quite interesting sometimes.
Well, we think we don't suck, but he exaggerates.
Okay, we suck. Ignore us. We're boring as hell. Go find something far better to do with
Watch the
your time.
gingerbread house video. It's so cool.
It is. I will try not to eat the gingerbread house because I'm hungry right now.
All right, we're going to go.
Yeah, we are. So thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing and wonderful day. Thank you for the super chats.
Have a great new moon.
Have a beautiful day. We'll see you later.
Bye.